What's up, everyone? You're doing what? And this is.
I'm Kiera Partello. Hi.
You know the name, you know the game, but now it's time to hear the story. This is 101 with Matt. I'm here today with Kiera Partello. She is one of the best wrestlers in the state of Florida, a top ranked All American from Naples, Florida. She's going into her senior year at Barron Collier High. She also runs track and cross country. So, hi, how are you doing today? So much for coming on. And I would love to hear about your origin story. What started your journey with sports?
I would say it started in my sixth grade year. My dad came up to me one day and said, "I have a girl for you in the wrestling gym that I want you to go help her out with." So I came in first day and I knew nothing. I was getting beaten up left to right and I was still new to everything. But along the way, in my eighth grade year, is when I went to my first wrestling competition. I ended up placing second for folk style. No, I ended up placing second for freestyle and third for folk style. And from that moment on, I think that's where I really took a love to the sport because I was determined to win after that day.
I know that's right. So let's get into you breaking barriers. I know that with you being a wrestler, it is a male-dominated sport, and there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. When I did high school sports, I'm going into my sophomore year in college, but when I did play in high school, I did cheer, weightlifting, football. So with weightlifting, I know weightlifting and wrestling is two different sports, but I can kind of agree with a lot of things that you probably went through. Like there's a lot of stereotypes with the sport of wrestling and, girls not being strong enough and stuff like that. Did you have to deal with anything like that?
So I did have to deal with a little bit of it at first, but since my dad was the coach, a lot of people knew me as Mini Partello, and that I would kind of take the next leap. And I was already built around the environment of wrestling, so the wrestlers knew me very well, and they weren't really that bad. They didn't put me down. They would always have me very frustrated when I was losing because they would want me to win every time, but the environment in wrestling was great. I had a lot of male wrestlers build me up as a teammate and, been there supporting me from my journey. And I support them, I cheer them on, I do my best. And now that we have more girls on the team, I'm learning how to be a leader for them, cheering them and building them up, making sure that every win that they get is a win in their book.
That's great. Speaking of being a leader, I literally was going to touch on that topic with you. You're going into your senior year, you have a lot of experience. You're a leader, and there's no doubt about that. And I wanted to know what message could you give to the younger generation, female athletes that wanted to get into wrestling, if they're new to the sport, if they're kind of shy to build their confidence, what would you tell them to keep them pushed?
I would say you have to keep going with wrestling. There's going to be days where you don't want to show up and practice is going to be hard, but in the end, you are going to gain so much out of the sport, both mentally, physically, and like psychologically. You're going to feel better about yourself, better about the people around you. There's a life lesson almost every day just with this sport. I mean, I have my one saying, which is 123, and it's putting my family first, friends second, and the sport in third. So faith, family, and activities.
I love that. That's amazing. Can we talk about what was your overall proudest moment throughout all of your sports and your whole career?
I would have to say Fargo is by far my proudest moment. I didn't expect myself to do this. I didn't expect becoming an All American, but the moment I finished that match, which would place me on the podium, that really stuck to me. That's when I took a really deep thought to myself and said, I'm actually I deserve to be in this sport. I deserve to be where I am with
Definitely.
everyone around me supporting me. So I would say placing in Fargo would be my biggest memory.
Do you remember that day? Because when I look back at a day that I had such a great game, sometimes I forget because I'm like the emotions and everything is so high. I'm like, okay, what did I eat that morning? How did I prep? Can you tell me and walk me through that day? Like, you woke up in the morning, you showed up to the match. You said there were over thousands of girls, so many people there. Can you walk me through the whole process of that day up until that point before you found out I'm all American?
Hmm. So when we first got to the Fargo Dome that day, we all walked in a line and checked our weight before coming in just to make sure we're on. We had to go up in the stairwells and sit in a certain order, not by weight, but just in an order of being checked in by rows. Once they call your row, you just walk down to the side and they check your nails to make sure they're not sharp or you're not scratching people. I will say, after people get their nails checked, we're sprinting down to go get our skins checked. Everyone's like hungry, everyone's ready to weigh in. So we're sprinting down. Once that skin is checked, we're like racing down the stairway, getting our IDs scanned, and then trying to find the closest mat with the shortest line. And then once weighing in, I it's a relief. It's like a fresh air because I think I chugged a whole bottle of Gatorade. I was that hungry and thirsty afterwards, but I felt so much better getting food into my body.
Yeah, I definitely know the process of weighing in from weightlifting. When I went to regionals, I know, listen, none of us ate in, we made sure we used the bathroom, did what we had to do, stepped on that scale, and we all made the weight. So it's really important that you touch base on that. It's a lot of things that people don't know you have to do. They think you just show up, you go out there, you have your match, and that's it. No, there's a whole process. You have to have your check-ins and things like that. So that's great. When it comes to your pre-match prep, is there a certain thing that you do to get ready before?
Yes, I make sure I find a quiet spot by myself, maybe somewhere away from all the blinding lights and from all the screaming and cheering. And I start doing my warm up there. Uh, I do level changes, I make sure I'm in my stance. I just go over the little things in my head that I know I need to remember. And once I get to my mat that I'm assigned to, I do another little warm up just so that I'm extra prepared.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it's so important that you are good mentally. It's a lot going on, and it's easier, said than some people. They may be able to sit in between all of the noise, and they have to hear the noise in order to get ready. I'm just like you. I'm the type of person I want to go somewhere quiet. I need peace. Like I just give me a second so I can get myself prepared to go out there and do what I need to do to dominate. So I definitely agree with you on that one for sure. So I want to get into wrestling and your identity because I know when it comes to sports, we also have a life outside of that we have to balance, and you're growing, you're human, and it's like, okay, I love sports, I have to learn all this, but then I have to also go home with me, do my academics in class. How do you balance that? How does your sport shape who you are?
So I balance doing my work and my wrestling by having a set time for when I do my homework. So after school, we'll have maybe an hour or two before practice starts. And that's when I will be getting a few of my schoolwork already done. And if I still have something to complete after my practice, I usually go home, finish it, and then spend time with my family. On weekends, when it's sometimes event days or where it's not event days, so I'd say Sunday, that's when I really get to relax. I spend time with my family. We go to the beach, we have fun going out to places. And then right when Monday hits, we go back to the same schedule. workouts in the mornings, afternoon is school, after school, homework, and practice. Now, some days, if I have finished all my homework and it's just the practice I have left, usually after, I'll spend time with my friends. I'll call them up and we'll all have a chat about our day. Or I would go out with them, spend some time.
Yeah, I definitely think that self care is very important, and I'm so glad that you're taking the steps to take care of yourself inside the sport and outside. So that's amazing. I would love to talk about your growth over the years because you've been doing it for a while. Do you remember yourself the first day you were introduced to the sports that you play? Like, how much have you grown since then?
Um, I would say it took a while, maybe a year for me to actually be like, okay, this is something I want to do. Because
Right.
at first, I didn't want to do it. I was very stubborn. I was very much like, oh, I don't want to go today. It's too hard. The practice
Right.
hurts. I'm all sore. But once you get into it, it's kind of like a part of you, just part of the daily life routine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would also say that when days get hard, I just remind myself that my goals are to put my name out there, get people to know me. I want people to know that girls wrestling is a thing and that it is an awesome sport and it's entertaining. I mean, I've had coaches come up and say that girls wrestling is a lot more entertaining than guy wrestling. There's a lot of scrambling, flexibility. People are hitting crazy moves that guys can't really hit, but it's all
Yeah.
fun in the end.
I went to a wrestling match and I was entertained. Wrestling is a sport that you don't fall asleep in the stands. You're not bored. You're not wandering off. My eyes are literally looking and paying attention all the time. So I definitely agree. It's so entertaining. It's so amazing to watch and see you guys put in the work. So, speaking of goals, because I heard that you mentioned goals, I would love to talk about your senior year. It's about to be your senior year. I already know you're going to be strong. Do you have any goals or next steps?
So my next step is to qualify for Super 32
Mhm.
as well as wrestling season place, for 100 or 105, the weight class I choose in the end. I want to place first at states, of course, and have my picture hanged up on the wall at our school. We do it for every state placer. So I want my picture frame right next to my dad's.
I love that so much. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna look back at here on this video and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I definitely knew. You're gonna speak into existence. I know that's right. Any college or schools? Have you started looking at college?
Yes, I have looked at a few. The ones that I've really been looking at are D1 schools, like, well, okay, excuse me, a
You're
little bit
fine.
of a brain fart. There's one that's called Life University. I would love to go do that. There's also if you I don't have the list on right now. I'm not
Yeah,
great
you're
at
good.
college names, but there's definitely Iowa. I would love to go to. Um, Penn State doesn't have a girls wrestling program yet. Um, I know that there's one in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name, but I know that that's a D1 college. I would love to go there too.
Mm-hmm. So you're definitely gonna continue wrestling in college.
Yeah.
I know that's right. Yeah, don't stop because you are one of the best, and I would love to see how far you go. I know you have so much more to accomplish. Do you have any final words to anyone that may be watching? Anything that you say?
Um, just this one thing. Don't give up in the end. It may seem hard, but you're going to see the fruits of your labor. You're going to see your improvement, and you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you're going to say, I like this version of me.
I love that so much. Do not give up is something that I live by no matter how hard it gets. So I love that you mentioned that. We have the same phrase. We're not done yet. We have one more thing. We're gonna play a quick game called TNT with my top notch takes. And basically what we're gonna do is you're gonna give me your top three most unpopular opinions in the sports world: cross country, track and field, anything that you wanted to have a lot of experience.
Um, I would say I did cross country and track and field for the endurance, but I love my teammates and I love competing in other running sports. I mean, I run in the morning. It's a good workout, it's a good routine, and I definitely want to see where it will take me.
Hmm. So, you're going to give me your top three most unpopular opinions. Something that most probably wouldn't agree with, and you stand by it.
I would have to say my top three most unpopular opinions is that sometimes the mats are very hard and stiff. And it's not fun to work on them, but you get used to it. And I think I only have two, which is the days where you're cutting weight. It's going to feel so bad. But once it's over, it's like, what was I complaining about?
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Kiara, for being here today. This is 101 with Kai. Thanks for tuning in.